Okay, man. So this is a second episode of What the Pell, and I'm here with Ryan Wiebe. Seth had a bit of an issue with if you should look at the camera or not. If you all of a sudden feel like you should look at the camera, do it. But for the most part, it's just
It's gonna be me and you.
me and you chatting. The other thing too with this, No, I'm doing this now, but it's just super casual. Like there's no intro. Yeah. This is the intro.
We're making it right now.
We literally have a guy, Ryan Wiebe, friend of mine for a long time, who brought
Some scotch for you.
brought some scotch. Do you just drink this straight?
Yeah.
What is it? Can you read it out?
I don't want to just destroy the pronunciation of this.
Better you than me. I'll try it.
Yeah.
We got the Bellavini double wood. Okay. Matured in 2 distinct casks. Wow. Dang, this seems nice, man. Thank you.
It's I got it as a farewell present when I left the restaurant for my boss. He's a big scotch guy, and it's taken a bit for me to get into it, but I have
Okay, well, let's do cheers with scotch, or is that a thing? Let's cheers.
Cheers.
Cool, man. Ooh, all right. All right, that's a sipper.
Yeah, definitely.
What'd you say?
Yeah, that's why it's taken me. I got that in a year ago. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Dang. Did you ever mix it with like something like Kraken?
No.
Because we got a bottle right
I
here.
seen that right there.
Okay, man.
Necessarily you don't ice or no ice. That's kind of
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I don't know if it'd be better cold or not because this goes down smooth.
Yeah,
kind of warm.
It hits you right at the start, and you're like, "This is gonna be."
Yeah,
But then, once it doesn't burn going down. It's nice.
yeah. That was like my experience with mezcal.
Yeah.
It was at first I was like, wow, this is like a tequila shot every time. But then as you sip it, you're like, oh,
This is actually pretty.
this is pretty good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
could actually do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Well, to get started, who are you and what are you?
What am I?
Yeah, man. Tell the good people.
Where do I start when you tell how far back do you know?
Well, Seth started at birth, so
started the birth cake.
Yeah.
Cake.
well, I would just say who like if I was to meet you in the street, Christmas shopping,
Ooh.
and I was like, oh,
Is it snowing?
we touched base. Yeah, it's snowing. You can hear the crunch of the pitter patter of the kids' feet. Yeah, what would you? And I said, hey, it's kind of nice to meet you. What do you do? Who are you?
Well, everybody knows that I cook. I love to cook. I've done it for many years. Doing it professionally. Oh, for about 10 years, and yeah, I recently hung up the apron in that sense, in the restaurant sense.
Like the commercial sense.
In the commercial, in the industry,
Yeah.
hospitality industry, recently hung that up. Me and my wife, we just had a little baby, just turned a year, so it's been. I knew going into it, if we were to ever have kids, that we wouldn't. If we were, like I said, if we were to have kids, it would be. I would never be home.
Yeah.
You're working evenings, you're working weekends, you're working holidays.
Yeah.
It was a golf course restaurant I was working at, so summers are just crazy. Like tournaments, you have multiple tournaments a week, and so I knew when we did start having kids, I was like, do I want to miss a lot of it? And since leaving the industry and
Now that being said, I know you. It's kind of weird as you grow up with different people and you know them differently. Like I know you, or we know each other. I think from before you were a chef, all that stuff. But I think a lot of people know you, especially through social media, as a chef.
Yeah.
So would you still identify yourself as a chef now? Like, do you still have maybe from my perspective, and this is going to be naive. It's like, well, if you're not working in a kitchen anymore, like, is your dream of did you have a dream of owning a big restaurant or something like that?
Right, yeah.
Is that all gone and now you just cook for fun, or do you're like, hey, it's just the vision has just changed?
Yeah, just still kind of sitting back there.
Yeah.
Like, is this just? It's been so many senses right now. It's just like, I still like, a restaurant or a building pops up that I think would be really cool for a restaurant, or I have always had lots of concepts of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And if it got to if everything kind of fell into place and I was like, okay, I want to get back into it, but I want to kind of do it on my own terms, do my own thing. That's kind of the only, I feel like right now anyways, would be the only reason I would go back to restaurants is if I was doing it myself.
You were in control of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was nothing wrong with working for somebody, and I love doing that because Mulligan's, where I was at, was super, like, we had full creative control. We could do whatever we wanted as long as we were making money, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. The business has got to be there.
Yeah. But we could like,
which is, it's kind of nice, especially in our area, because it is kind of, over the past few years, maybe the culture has diversified. But for a long time, it's, you either get your chain restaurants or you get the same kind of cultural foods.
Yeah.
Where now there's so many different kind of mixing in there. You guys, I would say you guys were kind of one of the in the typical restaurant that's established. Probably one of the first, as you kind of got into the kitchen. First restaurants to kind of introduce those things that would be abnormal, even though they're really not. Like, you think like you guys would do a salmon dish or a steak dish, and you tell anybody else that, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. When we first started changing menus, changing things, doing things a little bit outside the box, there was definitely friction of like, why not just serve you what people are gonna like?
Yeah,
they're gonna like. Why are you? But we just kept pushing forward, and finally people were like, these guys, like, they're making really good food, and it's not just the typical what you're seeing at every other place.
Yeah,
like
steak, fries, piece of toast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, we just and we heard the people that were like, yeah, keep doing this, guys. Like, it's gonna, and we just kept doing it. And I know
that's cool.
In a sense, that might kind of sound cliche for a lot of restaurants. They're like, well, that's what we did too. But it is really what you just have to put in the work. You have to put your head down. You have to be, that you're creative. That what you're doing is really good, and there is a few people that are seeing it. Yeah. And then once it finally starts to come around.
Yeah, which is almost like the worst place to be in at first. It's like, I imagine, especially with food, because it's such a huge thing.
Yeah, and there's always trends with food, just like
costs money.
Yeah.
So people are a little more sensitive that way sometimes.
Yeah, and the change is another big one. We were the only restaurant, every 2 years we would change our menu, and almost, I would say, at least 80% of it would change, and we'd keep a few of the staples that we had, but we'd change a lot of things, and that, you could tell, rubbed people the wrong way. It's just like, we want what we're known, but it's like, then they would keep coming back and they'd find a new favorite. Yeah. It's like, because there's restaurants that new owners have bought it, and they still have the same menu. Yeah. Even new ownership, and it's just kind of like,
and then you almost,
there's no creativity there then.
Would you, I guess, actually, you know what? Let's rewind this, because I feel like we're almost towards the end.
We came pretty quick through it. Yeah.
But like, where did things, knowing you in high school as kind of the dirt biker, or motocross guy, snowboarding kind of guy, what kind of walk me through, like, what went from Ryan? I mean, you still do that stuff, or you still would do that stuff. Yeah. Maybe not as much anymore, but what was the transition? What kind of built you into what you were, the cooking side of thing? Even though now you're not in the kitchen, you still do cook and cater and stuff. Where did that begin? What kind of sprung that up?
To why I got into culinary arts and why I like to cook. I always liked to cook and make my own stuff at home, and it was just never really put much thought into it. I just like doing it. I just I don't know where it really sprung from. Like, my grandma, she worked in kitchens. Okay. So yeah, when we go to her house, I'd always like be by her, ask if she needed help, kind of stuff.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah, but it was never like.
How old would you have been then? Like, at that point?
Oh, yeah, like 4, 5, 6. So like just growing up. Yeah. Like, even cool. I noticed with my son, I take him out, we'll be cooking, and I'll just pick him up and kind of show him stuff, and he's just so drawn into it. Really? Like, he's just like, what is this? He's like, this is so cool. Like, I taught him how to open the fridge. Yeah. And now it's like, when we're walking by there, we have to stop there. He has to open the fridge, look in it, always reaches for the hot sauce. I don't know why, but it's just like, it's so cool that I find if you ingrain it when you're young. Yeah. Like, growing up, my dad cooked all the time. Yeah. It wasn't just like, okay, mom cooks, dad works. It was never like that. My dad cooked all the time. So I think I never saw that, like, men don't belong in the kitchen. Yeah. Like, that mentality. I never saw that, and I always liked cooking. So that's very cool. So then, since you were young, I might get you to move your mic just a little bit up. Keep talking. Like up. Just a little bit more in front of your mouth a little bit. Yep. Like there's good. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Okay. That's good. So then you were really young, and you're already kind of helping your grandma, and then middle school, were you doing much cooking, or at that time was it? Not in middle school. It was more trying to think, did I do any really cooking? Like culinary arts.
Yep.
I think in grade 8 or not home ec. That's what it was.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
home ec.
right.
So yeah, that was always fun. And then I remember, was it grade 8? No, it was grade 9. I was doing home ec, and then we had the opportunity just to go to all the vocationals that were in the area, like that Red River offered. So I was like, oh, sweet, I'm just going to go, because it was kind of like, a field trip for a day. You don't have to
Yeah.
be at school. So I was just like, I'll just go. And I'm like, I was kind of interested in cooking, so I wanted to see the kitchen and all that. So we did all that, got to the kitchen, and I was just blown away. And it's kind of, I want to say this is how it happened, but I don't know for sure. Is the principal saw how excited I was when we got there, and only one kid from Morden got in that year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was the only one who got in because he saw how excited I was.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I heard that, but I was like, it sounds cool.
I wonder if he ever hears now that you're not like cooking in a restaurant anymore. He's like, fucking, what a mistake! I could have my prodigy. No, I'm just kidding. So you were home ec. You were like the only kid probably in home ec that was doing home ec stuff. Because I remember home ec. I remember at the end you had to clean up all the pots and pans, and we just stuffed them in the oven and pieced out. We got out of there. All the dirty pots and pans. So you're probably like one of the kids. Like, I'm not making fun of you for this, but like, it just goes to show you were probably actually enjoying the experience of like, hey, I get to do this, or I get to do this. As I'm sure as little as it actually was. Because I think they're trying to tame kids like me down while you're actually trying to learn. Yeah,
but home ec was different because you're doing a lot of just like, you're not really getting into the basics. You're just like, oh, we're gonna make this today. Here's the ingredient list. Get this ready. And
here's how to turn on an oven.
And it's gonna take you, what's class? 45, 55 minutes?
Something like that, yeah.
So it's like, you got to get there. So it's something that's got to be made in 20 minutes, half an hour, that you can cook, clean up.
Yeah.
You're not going to learn the basics on how to dice. You're not going to learn
Yeah.
So when you go to the vocational in Altona, it was, okay, you have hours to do this.
Yeah, so then
there's actually more like, obviously that's what it's for. You're going to learn your basics. You're going to learn how to do all that. And then...
That's cool.
And some people push, some people succeed, some people take it as an easy credit because it's just,
really?
Yeah, there was lots of people. I remember when I finished my first semester, we were getting bus back, and I was like, what do you guys plan to do? And they're like, we're just like, probably not going to go back. And I was like, well, why? And it was just like, don't you find this interesting? And they're like, it's just an easy credit. I just want to learn how to cook just a little bit, and I'm going to go. And I was just like, I couldn't fathom it. I think.
What grade would that have been in?
That would have been in grade 10 or 11.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I remember when I lost my train of thought.
That's my bad. You were saying you're driving home.
So when we were I think like 5 years after we graduated or something like that, or even 2 years after we'd graduated, and I finished I think I only know of me and maybe 2 other people that were still actually like in the industry.
Class. Do you still, now the other 2 people, are you connected to them at all anymore?
One the most, definitely Colin.
Oh yeah, okay.
Colin Fair, shout him out.
Send this to him. Tell me to read.
No, we clicked when we were in there. We'd goof around all the time. We became really good friends. We actually kind of merged like the 2 towns of friends.
Yeah,
we were kind of
sure. And what was he, Altona, or
Winkler.
was he was Winkler?
He was Winkler, yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely, he was a good time and positive person. Probably a good person to hang out with.
Yeah, no, he's still same positive.
Yeah.
Positive ways, yeah.
Dang, that's cool. So then, Kate, you're going through culinary arts. You're in grade 10, 11, leaving the semester. Some kids are dropping off. Is the next semester, or like the next time you're in there, is it pretty similar? Or what? And two, on top of that, what does it look like being in there? Like
what do you mean look like? Like
the first semester, or like what does that look like? And is it similar to the second semester in terms of what you're learning and that kind of stuff?
Oh, that sense, yeah. The first is your fundamentals, your chopping, your breaking down proteins, stuff like that. And then you have a kind of a basic practical at the end of the year where you have to make the 3 mother sauces, and you have a certain amount of time.
3 mother sauces?
Yeah. So it's bechamel, Espanol, and tomato sauce. Those are 3. And then you can kind of base any other sauces you're going to make off of those.
Really?
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't know there's 3 mother sauces.
Throwing it back French style.
Dang, three
Yeah.
mother sauces. That sounds like you'd insult somebody saying that. You mother sauce.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. So that's first semester
That's
or first time
semester.
you're going through, and then second time going through. Feelings going into it, had they changed at all, or
No,
was
it was excitement. I was excited to get back. I couldn't wait to be done the other semester and then start again.
Yeah.
Because it was just, well, yeah, it was something that I enjoyed doing. But level 2's that you got a little more responsibility in the kitchen. And you're kind of guiding the new level 1s that I would have been. So there's 3 levels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of like,
you got a little bit not like, especially in high school, that kind of means
yeah,
something
it's like,
too.
oh, I've been here before.
Yeah,
Like,
that's cool.
yeah. So yeah, I did that level 2. Then, what was the practical for that? We had to do
Any mother sauces in that one, or just father or anything?
yeah, father sauces. Yeah. No, then we would do you did the chef's table, so you had to design a menu and then cook for faculty of the school.
Okay.
So I think it was 3 or 4 teachers would come in. They would like sign up for who they wanted to come,
Oh,
for which meal they wanted to come to.
really?
So that was cool.
Did they sign up? Did lots like okay? Did any teachers not sign up for someone's meal?
Oh,
Because that'd be
probably.
rough.
Yeah. Well, it's like there was only 3 or 4 teachers, so it wasn't
Okay.
like you were doing all the faculty at once.
Oh, okay.
But they would come into the kitchen. They would sit in the kitchen. They would watch you finish their plates, and then you'd go and present it to them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it was a little more high pressure. But then I find out I'm the only student that my chef got another chef to come in. Yeah, and I was just like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, so he got someone else to come in and watch me, and he came in like way earlier than everybody else, so he could watch me work, and it was
Dang. So was that kind of like out of looking, and maybe you don't know, but was that kind of out of hey, this guy's doing
Yeah.
something a little bit more special than maybe the other students are? And you don't have to be humble if that is the case. That's pretty cool.
It is the case. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. No, there was definitely, our chef could tell there was people who cared, obviously, and he could see that we were putting in the work. We could still, I don't know, when you get into a kitchen and kitchen culture, it's like you're goofing around, but you're getting your work done. You are, you're still disciplined, but you can have fun. And that's what me and Colin, we actually worked together in a restaurant after we finished school. But
You're riding each other's energy a lot,
yeah,
right?
we would goof around. But we'd always have our work done first. We'd always be the best at like the cleanest stations, the most prepped stations.
Would you say that part of that maybe is the enjoyment you had in it, or the interest you had in it? I'm sure it wasn't always enjoying, if that's the right way to say it. But would you also say someone like Colin, for example, you guys kind of feeding off of each other's energy and doing that? Do you feel like that made your work better? Like your products better?
Yeah, that little bit of competition, that little bit, I want to be better than you. I want to be the best in class.
Yeah, I'm trying this, you're trying that, joking back and forth, and where I could easily see, and obviously you were there and I wasn't, but I could easily see some kid who's there, maybe isn't trying to make a whole lot of connection, maybe isn't whatever, just kind of going through the motions. I could see them tuning out quite quickly, and displaying that in what they're creating.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna have the people who think that they're gonna make the most basic thing they can to the degree they'll know they'll pass.
Yeah.
Where you have like, it sounds like I'm just like pumping my own tires here.
No,
but
it's
like,
good. I think a lot of people, I don't know, I think a lot of people would respect what you have to say, and a lot of people would be inspired by it. So
yeah, and you push yourself. You want to make something that you're not super familiar with, or you always wanted to try. Because cooking a big thing, everyone just thinks that I just cook and I've never made mistakes and it turns out perfect every time. I have mistakes all the time. Like that
would drive me nuts. I'm just thinking of it.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm just thinking of it in the case of stuff like this podcast thing, or the YouTube stuff and stuff like that, and like the little hiccups of like the mic's not working or the camera not working.
Yeah.
You spend, in my case, you're probably spending as much, if not more time making this food or putting together this stuff, and nobody sees all of that.
Right.
By the way, you're in the back of a kitchen or in your house, and then you get your end result. I pull up the audio from the podcast, and it sounds like garbage.
Yeah.
Or in your case, you pull something out of the oven or barbecue or off the stove, and it tastes like garbage.
Yeah. You've burn it or whatever. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Was that discouraging, or like how did you cope with that? I know for myself, I get so frustrated. I want to fix it the instant after, like almost like I want to recreate it again to see if I can fix it.
Yeah.
Almost instantly. But for you, in your personality, how did you deal with the like things not working out, especially near the start?
Near the start, it never really frustrated me because I didn't know a lot, and I went into culinary arts also not knowing a lot about the industry or anything. I didn't come like, oh yeah, I already know who, like, I don't know how to, like, oh, I'm really good at baking and I like baking. I just wanted to get into it the main reason I got into culinary arts because I knew women liked a guy who could cook.
Dude, I was waiting. I was totally waiting to ask you this. I was like, the majority of people, whether it's the YouTube stuff or these first couple of podcasts or whatever, it's like when they're getting into something, it's almost always because of a girl. In terms of the guy situation. No, I haven't interviewed many girls, but I feel like sometimes, like, I'm not going to say anything just yet. Actually, I'll hold my tongue until I interview a girl, and then maybe I'll bring this up and see. But that it seems to be common, especially for guys. It's like you're trying to find your place and you know, be something of value and be like, hey, you know what, I can do this thing. Check me out.
I originally went into culinary. Obviously, girls like a guy who can cook. I didn't go into it thinking that I was going to make a career out of it and really enjoy it. I just thought I'd get the fundamentals down.
Yeah.
And then build it off of that. Like, it didn't have to be I was making these huge, fantastic dishes all the time. It's just to get by.
Yeah.
Because there's some people in our friend group who don't cook all the time and don't, like, it's hard to say because I look at cooking. People look at cooking as it's a pain. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah. Oh, me.
This and that. For me,
you can look right at me when you say that.
Yeah, you made burritos
on the stove.
On the stove
stovetop burritos
with no pan.
Dude, it's the greatest thing that's ever been made.
In my head, I'm like, of course that works.
Yeah.
But also in my head, I'm like, just put a pan
underneath it.
But that's just how my brain works.
Ryan, then I have to wash the pan.
If it's a non-stick, you just wipe it out.
Get out of here.
I did.
Carry on. Enough about me.
Yeah, but people look at it as cooking as a pain and it's a hassle, and I get that. There's times you come home, you're tired, you don't want to cook, and I got that way because I was also cooking for lots of people, so it was like you eat at the restaurant or you eat late when you get home, kind of thing, because you got to wind down from the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So finish off
I jumped forward again.
You're going through culinary arts. You're obviously doing pretty good because a chef comes to assess your food. Anything notable towards the end of the year, graduation, that kind of stuff, like, is this? Are you in this for like 3 years, 4 years? What does that look like?
3 semesters.
3 semesters. So you're 3 times. Is this your second time when the chef shows up?
Yeah, that would be my second year.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was crazy when that happened because I was like trying not to be nervous about it, but you have to be nervous.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're not nervous about it, you don't care about it.
Yeah, there's an issue if you're probably not nervous.
Right,
in that, yeah.
So yeah, I was super nervous about it. I actually remember I seared off my chicken and I had to make a pan sauce out of the chicken, and at that point I was still at that point of reading recipes, and not putting it into my head. It's like, okay, this is what I have to do. So I was like, hey, sear the chicken, and then so I seared the chicken, put the pot into the dish pit, and then came back, read the recipe, and it was just like, man, now you heat up your pan again, add there to make your pan sauce, and I was just like, oh, like I was trying not to freak out because the chef was there. Yeah. And I was like, what do I do? So I went back to the dish pit. It hadn't been cleaned yet. It was way off in the corner. Like there was no chance of it getting contaminated. Take it back. Yeah. Make the pan sauce of it. Everything worked out. But I was just like trying not. And I was like, did he see what happened? I was like, did he say anything? Yeah. Didn't say anything. Wow. What was the end result? What was your feedback? It was great. He did offer me a job, but it was in Gretna, and I had no transportation there, so I actually didn't take it, which was like, it all worked out in the end. Yeah. But it was still like, it was still cool to have that recognition of like, oh, if you want, there's an opportunity. Yeah, you're starting to see it. Yeah, you're starting to build opportunity. So it was cool. Yeah. In your second semester already. Yeah. That's okay. So then you go into your third semester now? Yeah, third semester is my grade 12 year. And yeah, I was just super excited. I was a little more nervous of the practical side of it because it was all baking. I don't even remember you being in
in culinary in grade 12? Like, obviously you were, but for me in high school, maybe I wasn't there very much. Was that, would that be the first half of the year? Or
It was the first semester,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, because I was going to plan to do it the second semester, but then everyone's like, oh, you don't really get to enjoy like your graduation with your friends if you do it in the second semester because you're always in Altona. And it would just be like the little things like you see each other in class or whatever. So it's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I just went and did it the first semester like I did all the other years.
And how was it? Last semester, was it kind of more of the same, or were you?
It was more different. It was fun. How did it work? So it was kind of interesting how it worked. My first semester, it's supposed to be kind of an even split of level 1s, level 2s, level 3s.
Okay.
And it was totally flipped on its head. There was 14 level 1s and there's only 21 kids in the class. So we were like, there was very few level 2s and very few level 3s.
Yeah, because the rest is split between you guys.
Right. And so what's supposed to happen is level 2s and 3s are supposed to help you kind of hone your skills and teach you all these things. But there wasn't enough of them to go around.
Oh, wow.
So that was interesting. So our level 2 it was a little more evened out, and then our level 3 there was a lot of us doing the practical. So it was more of a competition for all of us to do the practical, because it was like, I think there was 5 or 6 of us. So it was like, well, obviously you want to see who's the best.
Yeah. It's like it's a little tighter. Little tight. You can see what's like your visual, day-to-day visual. Your awareness is probably just that much tuned in, because you're like, hey, I don't have to be aware of that much stuff. I know he's right there, or I know she's right there, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but you would do it how we would do it is you do your practical for a week, because it took I think we did 7 items that you had to make, and some of them took a day and a half to prep. So you have all these items, so you do a week. So every time somebody would go in there, you'd always kind of go see what they were doing and how they were doing, and asking questions. And
this is like a game show.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's cool.
But the day before I started my practical, or 2 days before, I got sick. Like I couldn't go in to class. Yeah. But it wasn't like, it was really weird. My hands and my feet swelled up, and it's never happened again. It was
You're
really
pregnant.
Weird. Yeah.
Obviously.
And then we'll see that. So yeah, but
bun in the oven, as they would say in the industry, right?
Yeah. So that whole day that I was at home, all I did was research on how to do the first.
Oh dang, that's
so
awesome!
Our first set was to make a nice French baguette. There couldn't be any air pockets in it. It was intense. Wow. So I watched so many YouTube videos of it, how to do it, what to do, like all these things. Yeah, my baguette turned out great.
That's cool.
And
I'm surprised that word hasn't been canceled yet.
Baguette?
Yeah, it's 1 letter shy of getting canceled. Well, we'll move on from that.
Yeah. There's a
You don't know what? No.
I know.
Cool. Oh, you're just playing dumb. Yeah, you're just making me look stupid.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Is it?
I look stupid. And your baguette turned out really good.
Yeah, it turned out really good, and then there was just lots of. But I went into it not like, I went into it with a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Because I remember my chef said he watched me do this. I was making this one dessert, and I was whipping something in there, and there was a girl beside me. She was asking me questions because it was her turn next to go into the practical. She wanted to kind of what we were all doing. And she had a spatula.
Did you like her?
No.
Oh, okay. Like as a person, or like
as a person? Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah. Carry on.
So she's standing there and we're talking, and she has a spatula in her hand. It just slowly starts dropping. And I know she did not do this on purpose. It was so funny. But the funniest part is my chef saw it, and she accidentally dropped the spatula in the mixer. So the mixer goes in there, and stuff just starts flying out of this mixer. Like it was just a filling. But I'm like watching it, and I'm not freaking out. And my chef said he watched it from afar, and he's watching me, and I just slowly put my hands over like a couple of my desserts so nothing got on them. But he said it was so slow, and I just didn't do anything else. I just did this.
You're like, that's your problem.
Yeah, I'm just like, you got to stop that. Because all I needed, you don't need all your desserts to be perfect. You just need one. So I was like, I'll just hold off. He said it was the funniest thing he ever saw. Like, I just didn't panic. I just watched it, and I was like, it was hilarious.
You just protect it, and you're like,
creme caramels.
I need to save this. Yeah, that's awesome. How did hers turn out?
I don't remember.
First of all, how did your desserts turn out?
Good.
Yeah, and you don't know about hers, eh? There's a lot of spatula mixed in there.
No, it was mine that she dropped the spatula.
Oh, it was your stuff. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So it was your stuff. She dropped the spatula, and you're like, that's funny. She's trying to sabotage
Yeah,
you. Eh?
yeah.
I get it now. That's
That
that's
was
rough.
funny. But
Okay.
yeah,
And then
past culinary arts, and then did I get a few months later? I got my first like actual kitchen job at Co-op Cafe.
Co-op Cafe, how was that? Any good stories from there? I remember going in there to visit you and just with another buddy of ours, Dylan. We'd go in there and visit you and just kind of take break with you or
Yeah, it
pester
was.
you and stuff.
It was a really good place to start
Yeah.
to learn the fundamentals of what a restaurant is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was there for 2.5 years. It was great.
That's a different industry, hey? Like the restaurant industry, the people you get in there. I obviously, I don't know. I worked at Dairy Queen. I don't know if you consider that a restaurant industry job, but
No, definitely still.
Oh, nice.
You're still serving food. You're still, just because you're not,
I did a lot of dishes.
it's part of the game. But I'm not gonna say you have to serve a certain caliber of food to be in the hospitality industry. No,
Yeah.
fast food is still hospitality. You're
Yeah.
still dealing with shitty people.
The customers. You can
customers.
say that now you're out, eh?
Yeah.
Some,
They're gonna come after me. No,
Yeah.
customers are horrible. Customers are great, but customers are horrible.
yeah,
Like,
it's well, I think too, especially in from the perspective of the outsider, it's easy to forget that there's someone actually making the food behind the
100%.
behind the wall of the waitress or waiter bringing it out to you. There's someone actually there, and sometimes they actually do really care about what they're making.
Yep.
And it's not always going to be perfect, or it's not always going to be perfectly designed for your taste.
right.
And people can be ruthless. I mean, I'm sure I have before too. But yeah, people can be.
Yeah, the biggest thing is wait times. That was the biggest pain in the ass. Is
Yeah.
people come into everybody comes to the restaurant, especially in this area, at 6:00. Supper is at 6:00.
Yep.
You're getting literally 15 new tables all coming in at once.
Yeah, at one time.
At one time, because everybody eats at 6.
Yeah.
They all sit down. Some people are ordering appetizers. So the people are ordering appetizers. As soon as we get an appetizer ticket, you're like, okay, they're here for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
They have time. They're getting something, and then they're getting.
Yeah.
So
You can kind of time it out a little bit.
because that's what you do. Okay, they have had their appetizer. We can work on other people, and we can come back to them. Mm-hmm. But people just expect. I come in, especially they come into a sit-down restaurant. Everything's made from scratch.
Yeah.
They're coming in and they're like, "My food's not ready in 20 minutes. Why not?" And it's just you're just like,
I'm trying my best.
and they get mad at you for, we waited an hour for our food. It's just like, but you don't see every table is full in here. You walked
Yeah.
in behind how
And
many people?
maybe you're understaffed, which you can't control.
No, it's just people. Everything's so we live such a. We're gonna get deep into it here. We live in we live in such a world that everything's instant. Everything needs to be
Yeah.
now. Why is it taking so long? And nobody can just sit, relax, enjoy
enjoy.
conversation.
That is one thing that I do appreciate about like other, I've been to a lot of other places, but a few other places I've been to is the food and the company can be such an enjoyable experience that the food is almost secondary.
Right.
Like it's when we like the group of guys had gone down to Mexico and we got taken out for supper with one of our friends, friends who lives down there. We were there for I bet it was 4 hours.
Yeah.
But it felt like an hour and a half because the point of sitting there was to enjoy good food, but it wasn't to get in and get out. It was to
Right.
sit there and be with people and tell stories and laugh at stories and
Yeah.
have maybe some arguments and
Yeah, and food's coming out like
have a drink or don't have a drink.
Yeah,
Or,
like it's not about like food. Like lots of people still think of food is just sustenance, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat it, whatever.
Yeah.
Food is such like you were saying, it's a good point. Like you get a big group of people together.
Yeah.
You have some good food, and it doesn't have to be complicated. It has to be this big. Like we had pizza the other night.
It was awesome.
And it was great. It was just like, it was fun. And I know like a lot of people think of when I'm cooking for our friend group and stuff like that, people are just like, oh, he's having a terrible time. He's not enjoying himself. I still love cooking for people.
Yeah. You
Like,
enjoy that experience.
I love feeding people. And it's not just a pump my tires and be like, oh, I'm still good at this. I just genuinely like
But it is
cooking for people.
It is too. Like I think you're too humble even right from the start. It is a little bit good to pump your tires because it's your thing that you've worked very hard on.
Yeah,
and if you you sit at home and sit in your kitchen, that's cool and everything, and it's awesome and you make good stuff. And with social media, you get to share that. But that does miss out on exactly what we're talking about, which is that experience.
Right.
And not only that, but you kind of get to be probably finally, hey, I'm a little bit, I'm not standing on a stage or anything like that, but I'm a little bit of the star of the show here. This is what I get to produce that I've worked so hard on. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, it definitely gets to that point where it's just like, and it's kind of been a wild ride watching it happen.
Yeah.
Like from the social media aspect, the personal aspect. I've been invited into people's homes that I don't know who they are. We've had a few text conversations, and then I go in and I cook.
Not for cooking, eh? Just
we just text a few times, kept coming over, and then we talked.
Saying,
no,
that's
but
cool.
And those have been some of the best evenings that I've had, not knowing these people, but they've been so welcoming.
Are you able to relax in those settings?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, good for you.
I never find it like, it's fun. It's fun for me too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people think like I had just said, I'm cooking, I'm not enjoying myself. It's just, oh, these guys are making me cook again because that's all I can. No, I never think of it that way. I think of like,
good for you.
I know that I can cook and I can cook good food.
Yeah.
And I want to let other people enjoy it, but I also like to eat good food myself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying when we go places and friends bring food that I'm not going to eat it because I don't think it's good.
Yeah.
I'm also just
I won't.
Yeah. Pass. No, I really like, and that's the other thing. When people make food, I go nuts because honestly, I didn't have to make it, but it's a weird, like, I'm happy because I didn't have to make anything, but I'm happy when I do get to make things because I get to show people what I'm, share what I'm,
your talent.
So
how did you transition, let's say, out of the restaurant industry? Because you went from Co-op at Home, that's a furniture store. You went from the Co-op Cafe, and then you went to Mulligan's, right?
Right to Mulligan's. Yeah.
So you did that. We kind of touched on that at the start. And then from there, with the kid, you have a wife, you have a house, you have kind of things that you want to invest in that maybe the schedule of a chef doesn't always allow. I think if I'm correct, in the meantime, you're also building social media stuff, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I was just doing social media for myself. Like I wasn't, what is it? Like nobody was reaching out to me like, oh, let's do collaborations and stuff like that.
You're just making it.
I was just making it for myself, making what I was making at home, some restaurant stuff.
And were you like the content you're putting out? Are you like taking pictures on your phone, kind of?
Yeah, it was all just my phone, just like make something, boom, pop it up. And that was like, and then I kind of got into it a little bit more, and it was like, oh, this is cool. Like I want to edit more. And then obviously that's kind of when the whole influencer side of things, social media really blew up, where you could really get a lot of great opportunities.
Yeah, the
reach. And the reach, and right through social media. So I would just started doing that, and then you find some brands that you really like, and you start trying their product, and it's actually really good. So you start using it more, and it's just like you're always hoping like that one day they'll reach out to you, and it's actually wild.
Yeah, right.
When
yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Your time will come. maybe this whiskey brand will show to send us something. No, anyways.
So do I say it on here? I don't know. Maybe what's Spiceology?
Yeah, sure, do it.
Yeah, Spiceology reached out to me. Actually,
move this away again a little bit. There you go.
Yeah, Spiceology reached out to me a week or two after I gave my notice at the restaurant. Mm-hmm. So it was wild. Like it was a company I never thought I would have a chance of
working with.
Yeah,
in the capacity that you're
in the capacity of where I am making content for them and they're posting it.
Where can people like find the stuff that you're making on there, like for them? In terms of
find the seasoning or find the video, like
even like, are you making content for Spiceology as well?
Yeah, I'm sending them. Yeah,
can they find it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where do they go for that?
They can go right from the Spiceology Instagram page, and that leads them to the website, and you can read everything on their website too.
And do they, like, in your, and maybe you don't have to tell me this either, but in your kind of relationship, do they have to mention your name at all in it? Like,
Yep.
if I was to go to the Spiceology thing, could I go and say, oh, this was Ryan Wiebe's? Like,
Yep. Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, they always give me all full credit and everything like that. Yeah, they're really great to work with. We've had some meetings. They when they reached out to me, it was just like this, like I was in my head, I was like, this could actually like be something really cool, and it has been. It's been great.
Yeah, that's cool.
But the other reached out like, hey, we'll just have a short little meeting to see if it's all going to work out. And I was going into the mindset, I was just like, okay, we're going to have a meeting. We're actually going to see if this is going to work out.
Yeah.
Like, we talked like for like 15, 20 minutes. Like, yep, okay, sounds great. Yep, we'll send you some stuff soon. I was like, oh, like I didn't have to like prove myself. Like this is a huge like company that has other great content creators on there that have hundreds of thousands of followers.
Yeah.
And I never felt like I was just like really. Like,
just goes to show that your content, although maybe not the hugest following, was quality. Like to the point where
that was really cool to see that.
That's cool.
And get that little bit of recognition and be like, oh, like it's actually cool.
Yeah.
That this is happening. So started making videos for them and posts for them, and they've been a great. So sorry, they've been a great company. They're super helpful if I have any questions or anything like that I need. And it's a product that I wouldn't make it if I didn't stand behind the product. Like I'm really.
You actually like it.
Yeah.
And we're using it beforehand as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too, that's so cool. Like in that, just touching base on the social media side of things. Cause I love that side of things. Like as I've been getting into it and making different pieces of content. There's good sides, but there's also bad sides. But I'm curious from your perspective, what the good sides, you get to work with these companies that you really like, you really enjoy, companies that you would have used their product anyways, and now you just get to get a better connection with that company.
Yeah.
Did you face any maybe resistance either from yourself or from people around you, or what was the tough part of the social media stuff?
Like kind of putting myself out there more.
Yeah.
Or like,
is that?
I never really like.
Like, were you nervous? Hey, let's say I'm going to sound so dumb here. I'm just going to use a simple example so people know I'm dumb. Like a grilled cheese. You're like, hey, I'm going to make this grilled cheese. I'm going to post this grilled cheese. Was there at the beginning, were you nervous to be like, hey, what if someone sees this grilled cheese and I made a mistake or I did this? Are they going to think I'm an idiot? Maybe a grilled cheese is a simple like a.
No, I know now. Okay, I know what you mean. Like, am I going to post something that people are going to be like, why are we seeing this?
Yeah. Yeah.
At the start, no, I was just posting for fun. Well, actually, when we started posting, Instagram was fairly new.
Yeah.
We're that old.
Yeah. Now it's like, now it's TikTok. We got to watch the world of TikTok now.
Yeah. But like first starting it was just like posting whatever and all that. And then, everything started coming over. It was just like, oh, are you like, we don't have to see all the food that you post all the time. We don't have to see what you eat every day. And then I got to that.
People would say
not to me.
Yeah. But you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we don't care. It's just like that. So
That's wild.
But then I got to the point of like, I don't care. I'm seeing so many other people post, and you get to build. Oddly enough, you build relationships through somebody you've never met,
which is I think people miss out on that.
It's a weird concept, but it's so cool because the people that reach out to you on Instagram, or any social media platform, and actually like, I don't know if I want to say giving you praise, but just like acknowledging you, like, dude, you're doing great. Like, when you get that, you're just like, really, like, this is
someone's noticing.
Those are the best people that you want to keep in contact with, because you're gonna uplift them, they're gonna uplift you. You're gonna like, I don't know. It's a cool thing. Like I started talking. I bought this cookbook, really good cookbook, American Burger Revival.
Okay.
Shout it out.
Maybe they'll sponsor me. Just kidding. You. They'll put you in the next one.
Yeah. But no, he came out, or there was two guys that came out with this book, and it was just a fun read. Like, it's a cookbook, and it's gonna sound weird, a fun read. Yeah. But it's just like they just did whatever they wanted to do, and it was really cool. Like, there's a deep fried ketchup on there. It's awesome.
Deep fried ketchup.
Yeah, you like freeze ketchup in like an ice cube tray, pop it out, quickly batter, and then you fry it, and it's just like a little.
Have you tried it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's very hard to do. Like, it's
finicky. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
But it's just like, it's just a fun book. and there's so many books on a lot of cookbooks on everything, but so many books about burgers, and this one was just fun, so I really liked it. So yeah, whatever. Followed the authors,
Yep.
the chefs, and what did I do? Oh yeah, one day I was just like, I posted a picture of a bunch of cookbooks I had, and I was like, oh, which one? And I tagged everybody who was in the book, and it's just like, that was when you first started like, oh, someone just recognized me, like like it or something, and the author chef, he liked it, and then we've been talking a little bit, and
that's cool.
When quite a while back we were talking a lot. Yeah, he's from Boston. He's like, if you're ever out here, like I'll show you all the burger. Like it was really cool to have that connection and keep chatting.
Which is that's so cool. That's so cool because it's one of those things where, you know, as a group of guys, we're all like your friends and stuff like that, but we can only connect so much on, we like to eat food. We like to eat your food.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
We like to do that. It's a different, it would be egotistical of us to pretend that we can connect to you on that level that this guy could probably, you know, have a conversation with you about what your passion is, which is so cool because, you know, 10 years ago, I don't even know what it is since social media has come out. That's probably a lot harder to make those connections, which the good side, I mean, the bad side is why are you making food all the time? I don't need to see your supper.
Right.
The good side is that I think trumps that by far, but people, in my opinion, and maybe you can give yours on this, I think people have to make it past that little hump of you're a certain amount of people who know you aren't going to resonate with the thing you're doing. But if you make it past that hump, you're going to make a connection with people who do that aren't necessarily out your front door.
Right.
They're in different locations, but through the internet, through social media, if you make it past that little bit of hump and and you're passionate, people resonate with that, I think.
And like, you know what social media and like, you can see when people are being fake and you can see when people are being genuine.
Oh yeah.
And it's very easy to
it's like we've almost been trained, like without even, like, you see a picture, you're like, there's something off with this.
So it's just, there's still people, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I feel like people connect more with people who are real, even through the social media. You can
so crazy you're saying that. As you were talking about, you're using this book was written by someone they just had fun with it. They did something they enjoyed. You not working in a restaurant, putting out content, it's just something you enjoy, whether you get paid or you make a connection or not, you're going to be doing it. It's because you enjoy it. That's something, even with exactly what we're doing right now. There was a lot of, even starting something like this, there was a lot of the stuff I do, but this in particular, there's a lot of opinions. You should do it this way. You should do this. You should do this. And maybe I will add those things in over time. But one thing I did want to do is I actually just personally enjoy talking to, guys like you, Seth on the last one. And I'm looking forward to whoever's next on here too. Because that's what I like. I don't always get the opportunity to sit down with you. You're busy. I'm busy. We're busy. But if we can set time aside and I get the opportunity to hear, hey, Ryan now gets to sit here and say, this is what I enjoy. This is the things I like. And he gets someone to listen to that because I really enjoy that. Then perfect. It's a win-win.
Would you like... You look at the whole point of a podcast, like I look at this, it's literally just two of us sitting in a room by ourselves talking. And people love to watch this kind of stuff. People love to see real interactions through people. And it's a weird thing because I'll be scrolling, you see a podcast with a bunch of people talking and you stop and you want to listen to what they have to say. It's weird. But I love it. And that's why, like, I feel like we could sit in this room together by ourselves and have a full-blown conversation. It's not weird.
And all we do, and at least when I thought, all we'd have to do is set up a couple mics. A little bit more complicated than that. But that's been fun too so far. It's just starting, so I'm not going to pretend I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But in my opinion, like, if this went 4 hours today, and we sat here for 4 hours, we filled a memory card up, and we, had all this content, and the conversation just flowed. In my opinion, I don't even want to cut that up. I just want to put it on there. If 6 people watch it, if 4 people watch it, if 2 watch it, what do I have to lose? I just got to hang out with someone I find is interesting for whatever amount of time and hear about them. And in this case, it's someone who's my friend, a close friend. what am I losing in that?
Yeah,
Like,
like-
what's the downside of that?
Yeah, and people are so quick to when like you start something new, people are so quick to be like, why are you gonna do that? There's already so many podcasts out there. Why? It's like,
Yeah.
it's fun. Like I wouldn't have come here tonight if it was to be like, oh, this is gonna be point. Like no, I actually like
Yeah.
wanted to come, wanted to enjoy, and I knew we were gonna have a great conversation. It's just
Yeah.
it's interesting.
And the other thing too that, for me at least, with something like this is, again, I don't get to see like the group of friends that much. Maybe a little bit more recently, but a lot of it is in here. So I'm like, hey, how can I bring this in here and then also have it to be something that I can have someone else feel value from it,
Yeah.
rather than just simply me, taking it and saying, hey, I want to hang out with you, but on my time.
Right.
Rather, it's like, hey, I can bring you in here. I can have you sit down. We can hang out for whatever amount of time, and then I get to hear and have the conversation I would have had anyways with you. But now it's for something that is hopefully bigger. I also think one of the things I've learned to be passionate about or that excites me a lot, is seeing other people who are doing something.
Yep.
Because I'm sure you felt this too, is there's so much resistance in simply doing something.
Yeah.
And simply getting out of your comfort zone, whether it's direct resistance or it's self-inflicted resistance or whatever it is. There's so much dragging you back, being like, no.
Yeah.
That's, if you bake those cookies, you might make them wrong.
Yeah.
And that's an hour and a half wasted. You could have been doing this. You could have been doing that.
Yeah.
And I think there's people out there who aren't doing that. They're fighting the resistance, and they're producing something that they're, again, just passionate about.
Right.
And I love that. That excites me.
Yeah. I love always, like, I feel like I always have stuff in the works and always things going on. It's not just like I'm waiting for, like, you're actively pursuing, trying to, I don't know if necessarily say better yourself, but you're just trying to discover new things, try new things, and going, kind of making a full circle. That's all I find. That's all what's cooking is about.
Yeah.
You're going to, like, you're going to have, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it here.
Mm-hmm. No, take your time.
With cooking, you're always trying to, like, you're never going to know everything. People are like, oh, have you made this? No, I haven't made that. Like, everyone just thinks you tried it. You can't try everything.
Yeah.
You're always going to be learning. You're always going to be getting better. You're always going to find somebody who knows how to do something a little bit different than you do it.
Yeah.
And it's better. Coming in, if I was still in the restaurant industry and I was going to do a few different restaurants, I would never just be like, nope, this is how we did it at the old place, and this is how I'm going to do it here. You left the old place for a reason. You're at this new.
Wow.
You're at this new place for a reason. You're trying to do new things. You're trying to just get even like a glimpse into like what somebody else is doing.
Yeah, that is such a good point, that you left the other place, the other experience, for a reason.
It's not to do the same thing that you were doing there.
Yeah.
That you left
because you didn't enjoy
to do. Yeah.
That exactly. Wow, that's a great perspective. I think we forget that. It's like, why are you changing your experience just to recreate the same miserable thing that you're escaping to begin with?
Yeah, and I know there's obviously going to be people who didn't leave, not even cooking, left a place of employment to go somewhere else, either in the same field or the different field.
Yeah,
you're not always leaving that place because you didn't like it, but going there. But you should always be open to what other people are doing, because you can obviously bring your expertise into there and be like, this is what we did. This might work a little bit better. We can try it, but don't just come in there and be like, no, this is what we got to do.
Yeah.
Watch what they're doing to see if if it makes it a little bit easier. Like, there's so many times, so many instances that I've been like, oh, I do it this way. It's like, oh, but this is actually a quicker or faster way or an easier way. And you're just like, oh. So for many years when I first started cooking, it was just sitting back, being quiet and just watching. Like, I wasn't, even now, I feel like if you would talk to some of the past cooks that worked with me, I was never being like, no, you got to do it this way. I would just, if you wanted a little bit of guidance from me, I would, okay, this is how I would do it. Yeah. But I'm not going to be like, no, just get over it. This is how I want it to be done. Yeah. Yeah, unless there was a way I wanted it to be done.
There's certain extremes, but I think there's something to be said for being able to observe, maybe build a relationship, even if it's not like a massive relationship kind of thing, but build a little bit of camaraderie with someone. show them that you're listening to them. And then, say, hey, if you do have something that you're like, hey, you know what? I think this experience I have would benefit them.
Right.
It's like now they can trust me. They know I'm not just attacking them.
Right.
Like they can trust me with this. And then you can say, hey, you know what? Maybe you haven't heard about the mother sauces, but let me tell you. Yeah, that's cool. So, okay. So social media stuff, you're diving into that. You're really hitting that hard. What's next for Ryan? What's going on? Yeah. What, maybe it's nothing like crazy or anything like that, but maybe it's, I was going to say 100 years. Wow. Maybe it's 10, 15 years down the road, but maybe it's 3 months down the road.
I don't know. Right now I'm just enjoying watching my son grow up. It's fun.
Heck yeah, man.
It's
That's
just
cool.
like, it's, again, I feel like very cliche to say, but just, watching them grow, watching them be able to figure things out.
Yeah.
And like, you show them something new and you can just see the little wheels turning, just being like,
what is this?
what? And then he motions kind of towards it. It's just like, you have such an impression on them and it's so fun just to watch him grow up. Like, I look at him now and he's almost walking and he's like, it's crazy just to be like, oh, a year ago you were just
a potato.
There you are. Cool. What does he do? This.
He cries and then this.
Yeah. No, it's just been so fun. So I have no regrets leaving the restaurant industry.
Yeah. How could you? I would.
Yeah, right. Like exactly.
After saying that,
I've talked to a few other people that have also left restaurant worlds, not necessarily that worked with me, but just left the world, and they were just like, I don't know if I'm gonna go back. Yeah. It's so, especially right now, it's so hard. Yeah. We're in the inflation of everything, so everything costs more, obviously. Kitchen workers,
it's hard to find staff.
Kitchen workers don't necessarily make the best money. Yeah. In this area, especially, it's hard. But I totally understand, because also we're this area, not a lot of people want to pay a lot of money for food.
Yeah, it's not like we're definitely probably majority's middle class.
And that's fine. Yeah. But yeah, it's hard to try and cook at the level that we're cooking at, but still be, I don't want to say affordable. It is affordable, but it's like, obviously if you go out to eat all the time, it's not going to be affordable. Yeah. So it's interesting. Yeah. The cost of food, the shortages on food. Like I still talk to my old chef and be like, how hard is it getting stuff? He's like, random things you just cannot get all of a sudden.
That's wild. And it just adds another stress to an already stressful industry.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely. And it's like the industry is already so, I don't want to say cutthroat, but it's like your margins are so thin.
Oh, it is.
You have so much to pay for, all your staff, all your inventory. Yeah. And that inventory has a shelf life. Yeah. You're buying all this stuff. If you're throwing it away, why did you, it's so hard so you're constantly making money, spending money, making money, and you're trying to, well, obviously that's how most businesses are, but. Yeah. But
it's quite quick. It's quite quick. Like your product is going out every day, all day. Yep. It's not a product that, okay, we're trying to make sales, we're trying to manufacture, we're trying to do this, which I'm sure has its own challenges, don't get me wrong, but I think it is definitely an underappreciated, underpaid industry. Mm-hmm. For the amount of work that people are putting in. I don't think there's many people, even who are highly skilled and have been very wealthy and created great businesses. I don't think there's many people who could probably cut it in the hospitality world.
Restaurants are wild.
And yeah, because I only have a small taste of a franchise fast food place. Yeah. And that's wild. I can only imagine working with more complex foods, working with... you don't have the systems necessarily set up for like 50 years worth of, here's this burger, make it, see ya. Here's this burger, make it, see ya. Just get it out. Like we know how to do it, just get it out. Where you guys are actually dealing with, especially changing your menu. Okay, what foods can we get in? What foods can't we get in? Okay, we're short on this. We're short on that. Okay, we have enough of this. Okay, this month we're going to adjust this. Somebody didn't hear that message. And then you're working with that person. Yeah. This staff member quit.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now we got to get them back in. Yeah. It's our new person.
And it's just crazy. Yeah, like you're working long hours. You'd get there before lunch. You're leaving way after supper. Mm-hmm. You got to clean up. Like, it's just not like somebody's got to prep all this stuff. But, like, we would come in and we would prep lots of it. Yeah.
which is something in itself. Even if you're not necessarily the prepper, you
Right.
kind of are a little bit.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, we
Because
definitely
at the end
were.
of the day, if things aren't prepped, if someone's sick, something like that,
Yeah.
or someone's slow, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's you're on your feet all day. You get very few breaks.
Yeah.
But that's also how I was on myself. You could go sit down, that's no problem, but I would just be like, I want to make sure everything's done before
Yeah.
I actually like take a breath, have a bite to eat. So I'll just go hard. Like
Yeah.
you'd work like 10, 11-hour days and I would like go to the bathroom once.
Wow.
It was so I could just put it in the back of my head and just
work.
work. It was
for you, man.
weird. I could
for
still
you.
like
It's not many people who I think can do that. It probably just shows your passion for the thing you're doing. And it probably also shows just simply like, I'm almost positive. If you needed to in a different job, you would do the same thing
Yeah.
if it called for it, which just goes to show your work ethic.
Yeah.
which-
It's been, I think, my work ethic kind of started when I first started my job, Tim Hortons.
Timmy Hose,
Timmy O's. I remember,
which we also visited you at. Yeah. Why did we visit you at places so much?
yeah.
Where were you guys? Why weren't you coming? Why don't you come and hanging out with me at Dairy
We came to
Queen?
Dairy Queen,
Yeah,
too,
you did.
yeah.
I'm just joking. The other guys just weren't working.
I don't know. I'll never forget it. Yeah, sorry, Dad. We were doing something outside, and it was like, I think I started my first job in like 2 days at Tim's. My first day was in 2 days. And I did something wrong, and he just like kind of got upset with me.
Yeah.
And it just said, he's like, this is why you're not going to last more than 2 days at your new job. And I just took that to flipping heart, and I stayed there for
Good
four
for
and a
you.
half years.
Good for you, man. You're like, you had so many other opportunities, eh? So I was like, Ryan, you can go do this. You can make this much money, and you're like, no, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Ryan, I think it's been 3.5 years.
Yeah.
I think you can move on.
Yeah. No, it was just
That's
like,
awesome, man. Good for you.
yeah, we were just a lot of, I don't know, determination in myself. I was just like, no, I'm gonna make sure that I last longer than this.
Good for you,
Yeah,
man.
it was wild. And then I don't know.
Did you ever tell your dad that yet?
I don't know if I have.
Well,
I know my mom was there and she heard it because I remember her saying something after a few years. She's like, "So you lasted longer than a couple days or something like that."
You gotta send this to Dad after.
Yeah, he's gonna make him tear
Make him
up.
listen this long.
Yeah. No, it's coming. It's
We're getting a
coming.
view.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
No,
man.
it was. Yeah, and there was, I don't know, it's just things like that. You never wanted to give up. Like, yeah, we did a paper route too. I remember me and my brother, and basically my mom did a paper route. I don't know how we were supposed to do a paper route, and my dad's like, "Hey, if you guys do this, you have to do it for a year."
Oh heck yeah.
We did it for a year, and it was terrible.
It was brutal, yeah.
It was on. The papers got dropped off Friday.
Yeah.
So after school Friday, we'd have to go friggin' deliver all these papers, like 110 papers, I think it was.
Heck yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, after Friday, you get home and you're like, you don't want to, like, you're done school, you want to go hang out with your friends. No,
Yeah.
you got to go do this paper route that takes a couple hours.
Yeah.
And I remember my my dad told us this a few years after, but he came and helped us a couple times. A couple years later, he's just like, I don't know how you guys lasted the year.
He's like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, this is terrible. It was
That's
like,
funny.
you're doing it through like the hottest days of the year and then the coldest. It was just
Yeah.
like, it was terrible. It was,
Yeah, that's good for you, man.
Oh.
I remember helping out, maybe it was you. I remember helping out a couple friends with the paper route, and I was like, this is stupid.
And you make nothing.
Yeah, I forget what it was, but I was like,
Yeah.
this is ridiculous. You should have gone to Bible sales, door to door instead.
Yeah.
Probably would have been better person for it instead of freaking doing the news,
Yeah.
spreading propaganda like that.
Who needs the news?
Yeah, that's just they make that stuff up.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. It's okay. Are you social media wise? Are you still gonna just keep pumping stuff out?
Yeah, hopefully.
Cool.
No. Yeah, it's a little slower now, just trying to get a good work and home life balance, and then
You should do some stuff with your kids, some cooking stuff with your kids.
when he gets a little bit bigger, I definitely want to.
That's cool. We'll have him on here.
Yeah. No, yeah, I definitely want to. I just, when he's a little bit bigger and can kind of understand, because I want him to help. Obviously, like I want him
Yeah.
to grow up and not necessarily get into the industry if he wants to do that, giver,
But understand what you're doing.
yeah, still understand it, still enjoy it, still have those fundamentals, because we're in a world now that not a lot of people know how to. A lot of people know how to cook, but it's definitely lacking. I'm not looking at you, Pelle. You know how to cook.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I made Katie and ground beef yesterday.
Hey, I made Katie the other day too. Like, it's not like.
Do you ever like get fancy with it? I'll put like shredded cheese in there and forget the butter and stuff like that.
Never forget the butter.
And then with my, I did do this with it. I took hot sauce, like that it's not really hot sauce, the Valentina stuff. It's not really that spicy. And I put way too much of it in the ground beef. Like after it's cooked, I was like, ooh, this got to be flavored. So I put a bunch in there.
Yeah.
And it was like, it almost tasted like tomato sauce. It was a little bit too sweet, the ground beef. And I'm like, I imagine, is that the vinegar that's doing that in there? Is it vinegar? Yeah.
Making it sweet?
Like just like a sweet and sour almost sauce. It wasn't good either way. It wrecked the whole experience. I love craft dinner and everything,
I love
but
craft dinner.
you do something like that, it's
Do I ever make it fancy though?
yeah.
Not really. I just like it.
Dang.
Like there's things like that where I just like it the way I like it, like popcorn buttered. That's it.
I'm the same thing.
I like.
Do you ever dabble with the powders and stuff? No, I'm the same way.
I just like buttered popcorn, and so like, it's just so good.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah, I'm not like. There's not a lot of like, I don't know what I'm trying to think of other things that would be like.
Like for me, if I'm a pretty simple guy, couple chicken breasts, cook them about rare, slice them up, it's good.
Oh,
Little pink in the middle, a little chewy, you know. And, you know, if you, whoa, freaking train just drove by. Yeah, that's cool. So then, content side, has it slowed down a little bit now?
a little bit just to kind of figure out like
New schedules stuff.
and I think in the winter now it gets easier because it's lighter longer.
Yes.
Like in the middle of winter, it's like you get home and it's like 5 o'clock and it's dark. It's like it's so hard. I don't have very good lighting in my house, so it's hard to make content when I come home. So it's been difficult, but I mean I'm looking at getting a few things to extend my outdoor kitchen.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, looking at getting a pizza oven, kind of bringing that out there, and then I feel like once I have that, winter or summer, that'll be kind of like, oh, I can make a lot of content just using that.
Yeah.
Like a lot more different things other than just pizza.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at getting a pretty fair sized one, so I want to do. Yeah, you can roast stuff in there. You can.
Dang. So that's kind of the next thing on that.
Yeah, that's the next big thing.
That's cool, man. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I got what do I have? A smoker barbecue. I have a little like Japanese like a yakitori grill. Like it's a little like you put charcoal in it. And it's like it's only about I don't know, not a foot, but that big.
About 2 feet by my measurements are right.
This I'm a guy. You were a carpenter.
Those houses are still standing.
Was I not supposed to say that?
Yeah, don't tell people I was a carpenter. I don't know if I'd call myself a carpenter.
No.
Shingled and put walls up.
Put up drywall.
Yeah. That's cool, man. So you got a few different pieces of equipment.
Yeah, that little grills. Use it a couple times. It's really fun. Like just skewers.
Heck
and
yeah.
Then,
I would never use any of it.
No.
I'd be like, this is too much effort. Like the putting meat on a stick would be like, fuck it.
Well, yeah, put meat on a stick and
just
then
so lazy, eh?
you gotta start the charcoal and all that process takes about like half an hour, 45 minutes. But then the charcoal stays hot for like 3 to 4 hours.
Dang.
So you can be cooking all evening, which is kind of cool about them.
Yeah. That's sweet. I see. I'm so glad there's people like you out there because it saves people like me. Like it saves. I'm making these jokes and whatever, but yeah, it's. I'm lazy with food.
Yeah.
But that's why there's people like you.
Yeah.
So I can be lazy, and then I get a benefit from your skills, which is nice.
Which is good.
Yeah. Or people like you. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never really found cooking as like, oh, this is gonna take me this long. Oh, like
it's never been too bad.
I've never like, oh, this takes 4 hours to make. No problem.
Yeah.
Like it's never. Yeah. My wife, on the other hand,
she's like me a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Shout out.
Oh yeah, we're doing it. I'm sorry, Danielle. She will.
Oh, there is a good story.
Here we go.
You can tell it.
A few people know it.
This is good.
But she would make a grilled cheese sandwich. She'd take the bread, cheese, she'd put the bread back on it, and she'd microwave it for about probably 30 seconds, maybe more, maybe less. I'm not sure. So the cheese would already start to melt, and then she would put it in the pan, a ripping hot pan, quickly sear it so the cheese is already melted.
Yeah,
you're like light bulb moment for you.
She didn't even need a pan really. Just put a little butter on the stovetop and you're good to go. That's wild. I thought you were gonna go. I actually thought you were gonna go to the toaster. Have you ever seen that one? Where that is a psycho move too.
My brother will do pizza pops in the toaster.
I've seen that. That seems like a good way to mess up like the bottom of the toaster.
Yeah, he said he's pretty good at it. He's only a couple times bursted one in there, but he does it at work, so it's not his home toaster.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Like I've heard of people doing 2 pieces of toast in the toaster, and then
throwing a slice of cheese in there.
Throw a slice of cheese in there. That's grilled cheese. I'm like, that's gross. That's so gross.
I'm just like,
does it really save that much time?
Exactly. I was just gonna say
something like grilled cheese.
Why would you just make it normally?
Yeah, it probably takes 30 seconds.
Doing through all this effort to put the toaster on the side, but like
it's also pretty righteous coming from the guy who's making burritos on a stovetop. So
But actually, we have Danielle got it little. It's like almost like a George Foreman, but you just clap it and it makes 2 grilled cheeses.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and there's no like temperature setting. It's either off or on. You plug it in, it's on.
I've used that in high school.
Honestly, fantastic.
It's unbelievable, man. I used to go to this person's house at lunch every day, and I would go and I'd eat their bread and cheese, and I'd freaking clamp that sucker shut, and it's perfect.
Yeah,
there's no settings, just a light.
Yeah, it's just okay. It's on.
Yeah, and you're going. Man, they need more products like that.
When she first got it, I was like, really? And now it's like this is flipping sweet. Now, with Meyer, I'm pumped.
Yeah,
to make him grilled cheese sandwiches, or do like a toasted peanut butter banana. Like it doesn't have to be grilled cheese, but
whoa, like in that thing.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a good idea. Like obviously you can have toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but it's different when it's banana. Oh, and banana. You said banana in there?
Banana, not jam. Banana.
Peanut butter and banana.
And then toast that. Oh, that'd be good. Looks like I know what I'm making when I get home.
Dang, that does sound good. Dang. Well, Ryan.
What else? What else more do we have to say?
I think we've done pretty good, man. I think we've clocked in some good time here.
How long have we? Yeah, exactly.
I bet you it's been.
I don't even know how long it's been.
I bet you it's been over an hour and 10 minutes.
Should I check? Well, yeah, you.
It's 8:31 our time.
I've been going good. Let's see what Danielle sent me.
She's like, "Are you guys almost?" Oh, look at the little guy. Yeah. I didn't recognize Danielle at first. I was like, looking. I'm like, who is that? Yeah, man. Where can people find you?
My address.
yeah. If you guys want to sponsor Ryan and his cooking, this is his.
So Chef Ryan Wiebe's Instagram.
Yeah.
We talked about this last time. Got hacked.
Got hacked. But you're back.
But I'm back. Same handle. Got that back at least.
So give this guy a follow and a like and a subscribe if you've made it this far in this thing.
Yeah. If you've made it to the 45-minute mark, congratulations.
Yeah. No, I think if someone listens to this, I think it's interesting stuff that lots of people don't know about. Like
a lot of people don't see that. Like I feel like more now in the past, like 10, 15 years, the restaurant back of house is getting the light shed on it more.
Yeah.
People are.
Do you think reality TV stuff has helped?
Yeah.
Like that's definitely where I can get a lot of perspective from. Like, I mean, obviously it's dramatic.
Yeah, like there's going to be stuff that's played up to it, but it's getting more like, kitchen culture, restaurant culture. Like these people are working their asses off day in and day out.
Yeah.
And now it's finally getting some recognition, and it's finally like, it's not just like you go to a restaurant and then you don't care about where your food's coming from, who it's coming from, the ingredients. Like people care about the ingredients way more, and you probably know that from the fitness and nutrition side of things.
Yeah, it's
people want to know where their food's coming from. They want to know the actual benefits.
Yeah.
They're doing more research themselves now.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Sometimes to like almost to like a too much of an extent, but I think it's better. It's always better to go like a little bit over than it is to, you know, be eating like McDonald's fries every day instead of, you know, more quality ingredients. That's good sometimes, but yeah, I think people are, definitely have come around to it and definitely appreciate it when it is. I think there is a demographic now that just out of that knowledge definitely appreciates it way more. I would personally like to see like maybe it is just our area and the culture within our area and stuff. That experience in the restaurant thing. Yeah. Take a little bit, or be more pronounced. That would be cool. I don't have any answers to that, but I hope someone else does. And that they're good at it. Maybe someone like you. All of a sudden one day you're just gonna be like, your son's gonna be growing up. He's gonna be like, Dad, we should open a kitchen. And you're like, it's our time. It's our time, boy. I've been waiting for this day. Yeah, and there's like, you're like, you won't last 2 days in a kitchen with me.
Full circle moment. No, it's just, I don't know. There's always, in the back of my head, I'm always like, maybe I should just do it. And if I would do a restaurant, it'd be small. Yeah. It would be nothing big. I don't want it to where I can't handle it myself. Yeah. I've always thought of that. As much as I hate to say it, I do know kind of what style. I know I could do a killer brunch restaurant. Hell yeah. But I want to shoot myself. I would never. Yeah. Brunch is a wild game. Yeah, but it's got to be fast, but it's got to be different. Yeah. But it's like, and then I look at this area, it's like if I tried to do what I wanted to actually do, obviously there'd be people receptive to it, but is it going to be enough to stay open? Yes, that's always the question. Yeah, it's always like, do you do what you really want to do and just like no holds barred, or do you conform? I shouldn't say conform to what. It is a fine line. You got to pay your bills. Yeah, you got to pay bills. You still got to do stuff that it's going to bring the masses in and still make it. Yeah. Dang, I think. I don't want to say affordable, but what's the word? Affordable. Profitable. Yeah. You're not just spending all your time and money out of something that you liked and then now you hate because you're not making. You don't have time or money now. And that'd be the thing I'd worry about, because I know if I would open my own place, I would be there all the time, and I don't. Like I need to. I feel you, dude. It's great. Yeah. Do it now. I love it. It's the best. I think on that note, you guys should check out Chef Ryan Wiebe on Instagram. Appreciate it. Because in a few years from now, you might see him pop up a nice little brunch location. Yeah. Or popping up other places on social media. Check out his stuff, and I appreciate you guys listening to this. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys can like it and subscribe, and hopefully we keep getting more interesting people like Ryan on here, and I can learn something from them. That's the most important thing. Yeah. Maybe you guys can get something, but I'm really greedy and I like to to learn and hang out with my friends and cool people. So I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Perfect. Sweet, dude.